Beloved brothers and sisters of Earth, I am Ashtar Sheran, speaking on behalf of the command that has long watched over the evolution of your world. I come to you not as a distant figure of myth or legend, but as a friend and guide who has stood with humanity across the ages. The moment you live in now is unlike any other in your planetary history. You are moving through a threshold, the timeline of disclosure, a period in which truths long kept hidden beneath layers of fear and disbelief are coming steadily into the light. Disclosure is not a single dramatic announcement that will suddenly rewrite all you know, rather, it is a gradual unveiling. It is the natural consequence of rising awareness. As the vibration of your collective consciousness expands, the old walls that divided seen from unseen, terrestrial from cosmic, begin to dissolve. This timeline is not imposed upon you by outside forces, it emerges from the very choices and frequencies you cultivate each day. Thus, what you may expect next is as much about your own readiness as it is about any event in the external world. I speak of this to encourage you to see disclosure not as a spectacle to be awaited passively but as a living process in which you are active participants. Each time you choose curiosity over cynicism, openness over fear, and integrity over manipulation, you align yourself with the timeline that supports clear revelation. The greater the number who hold this alignment, the swifter and smoother the unfolding of what has been concealed. One of the first signs you will notice in this timeline is a softening of old narratives. The stories told to keep humanity isolated from the greater community of worlds will begin to fray. This does not happen through conflict but through the simple emergence of undeniable experiences, testimonies, discoveries, insights that resonate more deeply than official denials. Pay attention to the quiet, consistent threads rather than the noisy distractions. Disclosure often comes first as a whisper before it is recognized as a chorus. The next phase involves a shift in perception. Humanity has long been taught to see itself as alone in a vast, indifferent universe. This perspective is already changing as more of you feel intuitively that life is interconnected across dimensions and star systems. As this perception grows, fear gives way to wonder, and the notion of cooperation with other civilizations becomes not an intrusion but a natural extension of your own desire for community and growth. You may wonder why disclosure has taken so long. The reason is neither neglect nor indifference. It lies in the delicate balance between readiness and revelation. To reveal too much before humanity has developed the emotional and spiritual maturity to integrate it would risk deepening divisions and igniting conflict. The timeline therefore unfolds in harmony with your collective readiness to receive and act upon greater truths without collapsing into despair or aggression. Expect that, in the coming years, there will be an increasing number of authentic sightings and contacts that cannot be easily dismissed or concealed. Some will occur in regions where hearts are open and communities are prepared to respond with curiosity rather than hostility. These encounters are not staged performances but natural meetings between worlds long separated. They serve as both confirmation and initiation, confirmation of what many have long felt, and initiation into a broader sense of belonging. Another dimension of this timeline is the awakening of personal memory. Many souls currently incarnated on Earth carry within them latent memories of lives and experiences beyond this planet. As the energies of disclosure grow stronger, these memories will begin to surface in dreams, meditations, and subtle insights. Such awakenings can be disorienting but also profoundly empowering, for they remind you that you are more than you have been taught to believe. They connect you to a lineage of explorers and guardians who have served not one world but many. With this awakening comes a deepening sense of responsibility. The recognition that humanity is part of a larger galactic family is not simply a matter of curiosity. It carries the call to act as wise stewards of your world and as respectful participants in a broader network of life. This responsibility will be tested as you face choices about how to use new knowledge, new technologies, and new relationships. The timeline of disclosure asks you to mature beyond old patterns of competition and exploitation, to embrace collaboration as the key to survival and flourishing. I will speak plainly, there are those among your societies who will resist this timeline. Some will cling to old structures of control, fearing that the admission of greater truths will dissolve their authority. Others will respond from sincere anxiety, worried that contact with non-human civilizations will threaten what they hold dear. Compassion is required here. Do not allow resistance to become the seed of further division. Instead, hold steady in your own commitment to transparency, dialogue, and peace. The light of disclosure does not destroy, it reveals, and in revealing, it heals. At this stage, you may expect a growing effort among sincere leaders, scholars, and communicators to create forums for open dialogue. These may begin as small gatherings, research initiatives, or citizen-led councils. They represent the dawning of a participatory approach to disclosure, one that honors the voices of ordinary people as much as those of officials. Such gatherings lay the groundwork for the kind of planetary maturity needed to meet other civilizations as equals rather than as subjects or spectators. An essential aspect of preparing for what comes next is the cultivation of inner steadiness. Many of you hope for disclosure yet carry unacknowledged fear about what it will mean for your sense of identity, your beliefs, or your daily life. Inner steadiness arises not from having all the answers but from trusting that the universe is fundamentally benevolent and that you are part of a larger story guided by intelligence and care. Practices of meditation, contemplation, and quiet communion with nature will help to strengthen this trust and keep you balanced amid change. There will be voices, some sincere, others misleading, offering dramatic predictions or sensational claims. Part of walking the disclosure timeline is learning discernment, the ability to sense, in the heart and through lived experience, what resonates as authentic and what seeks merely to provoke reaction. Discernment is not cynicism, it is a calm, patient inquiry that neither clings to belief nor dismisses without consideration. As you move further into this timeline, expect a deeper integration of the sacred and the scientific. The divisions that once placed spiritual wisdom and empirical discovery at odds will give way to a more holistic understanding. You will see that the study of the cosmos and the cultivation of consciousness are not separate pursuits but complementary explorations of one living reality. This integration will be a hallmark of the next phase of human advancement. The disclosure timeline also invites you to rethink the meaning of contact. While visible meetings between worlds will indeed occur, contact is already happening at subtler levels, in moments of inspiration, in cooperative impulses that arise among distant communities, in shared dreams and meditative insights. Recognize and honor these subtler forms, they prepare the ground for the more tangible encounters to come. Some of you may feel impatient, longing for undeniable proof that the universe is peopled with allies and companions. I understand this longing. Yet remember that disclosure is not merely about information, it is about transformation. The aim is not to add new facts to old frameworks but to invite you into a deeper way of being, one in which fear no longer dictates your response to the unknown, and trust in the benevolent order of life becomes your guiding star. Let me offer a vision to anchor your hope. Imagine a future gathering beneath the open sky where representatives from many lands stand side by side as a vessel descends in radiant stillness. No weapon is raised, no panic disturbs the air. Instead there is a collective breath of recognition, a sense of homecoming rather than invasion. In that moment you will understand that disclosure was never about strangers arriving from afar but about remembering your shared place in the great continuum of life. This vision is not a distant dream, it is a possibility seated in the present choices of countless hearts and minds. Each act of openness, each moment of honest dialogue, each refusal to be governed by fear brings this possibility closer. You are not waiting for disclosure to happen, you are co-creating it. In closing, I remind you that the timeline of disclosure is, at its core, a journey of reconnection. It reconnects you with the broader family of life in the cosmos, with your own forgotten histories, with the natural world that sustains you, and with the deepest wisdom of your own being. To walk this timeline is to remember that separation was always an illusion and that the universe has been patiently waiting for humanity to step forward as a conscious participant in the wider community of worlds. I, Ashtar Sheran, and all those who serve alongside me, extend our steadfast support as you navigate this unfolding chapter. We do not come to save you but to stand beside you as friends and allies while you claim your rightful place in the tapestry of life. May you move forward with courage, clarity, and an open heart, for what lies ahead is not the end of a story but the beginning of a new and wondrous chapter in the shared adventure of consciousness.